Hey folks, figured we'll take a break from the Craigslist box cracking as the last one wasn't too exciting. There were still a lot more boxes to go, but I figured we'll take a break and I'll show you some of my recent other buys and other parts of my collection. So here we have Green Arrow 1 and 2 of his first solo title. For some reason, these books aren't worth too much, even though, it was his first solo title, much like the Wolverine Claremont Miller limited series. But maybe this one will go up in value a little bit later on once people realize this was his first title. I bought both of these for I think $12 plus shipping on eBay. They came through okay, even though I just used a cardboard mailer. Probably near it minus. Pretty awesome cover. Kind of reminds me of the Punisher cover. From a different eBay seller, I bought a couple issues of Ms. Marvel, 15th. Looks to be, very fine plus. Unfortunately, there's some oxidization, so the pages are not perfectly white. Here's 16, the one I really wanted, First Mystique. 17. And these next couple are from the same seller. Usually, if I find a buy, I try to buy a couple more things from the seller because just for combined shipping if they offer it. So here's Suicide Squad 1 and 2. The first title, Suicide Squad. This book is worth about $30 in a very fine condition. It's hard to say which Suicide Squad book will benefit the most from the movie. The New 52 one is definitely, with Harley Quinn on the cover, is the most accessible one. Just a random Batman issue. $2.94. Spawn 9, First Angela. Not the newsprint edition. DC Comics presents number 49. I'm not quite sure what the significance of this issue is, but there is some value to it. I mean, the cover is pretty cool. Haven't read it yet, but Superman and Shazam versus Black Adam. That's a pretty awesome storyline. These next couple I got for a pretty good deal. He didn't have a good listing title, so I think these were a little under the radar. I got all four for $20. Machine Man number 1, and then 2001 number 8, his first appearance. And these all look like they're in really good condition. Off-white pages, maybe very fine to possibly near mint minus. This was a pickup 2 weeks ago. Spider-Gwen number 1. She's so hot right now. Unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to buy her first appearance, which is like in $100 plus for a very fine, not even a near mint. Near mint, forget about it. You're looking at 150 plus. It's kind of crazy, but hopefully this will garner some attention. I'm going to show some of my slab books now. Personally, I think it's a pretty good idea. I mean, it gives the book some awesome protection. You get a fairly accurate grade, and it just makes the transaction between sellers online so much cleaner and smoother. You know exactly what you're getting, more or less. So here is Wolverine number 1, limited series. Pretty much a staple in anyone's collection. This one is 9.4. graded by CBCS, which is an up-and-coming grading company. Not quite CGC level, but they seem to be doing okay. This book was printed in a pretty high volume, so a 9.4, it's really around $70 or so. Maybe a 9.8, then more along the lines of $150. But it's not too hard to find at stores and such, but it's a good starter book. Shadow number 4. This is from 1974. I don't think this book has any significance. This is a 8.0, pretty good condition for a book this age. I think I got this just because it was part of a combo lot, and I think that this book was under $20, so pretty cool cover. So this book was actually from a Craigslist lot that I had purchased a while back. This was a huge, like maybe 3,000-4,000 book lot, and it was a lot of 90s, late 80s, but he had a lot of good stuff. Detective, Amazing Spider-Man, a lot of valuable books. I'm going to show as many as possible in my videos, but a lot of it I sold or is at CGC right now, pending grading. And I'm just going to refer to that lot as Big Blue. So this first book from Big Blue is G.I. Joe Special. If it looks familiar, it is Spider-Man #1 by Todd McFarlane cover swipe. It is actually a reprint of a G.I. Joe story, but this was not printed in high volume, so it's not easy to find. This is a 7.5. I wouldn't have sent this to be graded, but I didn't notice there was a maybe 1/8 to 1/4 inch spine split on the top, and probably some minor issues also. But if I knew it was going to come back 7.5, probably wouldn't have sent it to be graded. But this book is still in this condition, graded, and the slab is still around $70 or so. If you have a near mint, 9.0 plus, you're looking at a little over 100. But this Spider-Man #1 cover has been swiped so many times. You can find it in many different places. The Spider-Man 300 book has been swiped in a lot of more newer issues as well. This book I mentioned in my last video when I was going through the 2099 series from that Craigslist lot. I believe this was a retailer incentive. Not sure how rare it is, but there's only 3 or 4 on eBay at any given time, so it must be somewhat rare. But I don't think a lot of people are buying this one because this team, as to my knowledge, does not exist in any of the newer stories. But if it does come back in somehow, some way, then this book might get some value. Pretty cool cover, all the new X-Men 2099. The normal cover is blue if you haven't seen it. It looks like a mesh between Havoc, Gambit, and Cyclops. So speaking of Gambit, here's X-Men Annual number 14. First cameo of Gambit. If you read this book, you will see that Gambit appears in one pane, and I don't think he says anything in the whole book. Just kind of stands in the back. Hey guys, sorry if the video got cut off. The battery ran out on my camera. I was just saying how this book is found, all over the place. But since it's a 64-pager, it does get a little more beat up. Currently, this book is a 9.4. 9.4 for this book is generally around $50-$60 right now. 9.8 looking around $100, and the raw copies are still, right around $10. but a good book to have. Superman, Batman Secret Files, 2003. Nothing special about this book, but really cool cover. This is a 9.8, so almost as near mint as it gets. And I got this for a pretty good price, probably under $20 or so. So why not? This book I mentioned in 2 videos ago in the Craigslist lot with some Birds of Prey issues. This is Birds of Prey number 8 from 1999. This is when Nightwing, or Dick Grayson, kisses Barbara Gordon. A bit rare because this was 1999, so the print runs are a little lower, and this was Birds of Prey, which wasn't a really, highly printed book at that time. This particular one is a 9.4, and it also came from the Big Blue lot. He had a big run of Birds of Prey, and I happened to just pull this out. 9.4 is right around maybe $70 to $80. Book is not too common, so if you see a raw copy, it might be worth picking up. Alpha Flight 106, North Star comes out. This is another CBCS book, 9.8. So this book, Green Lantern 156. I bought this one just because it was cheap. It's a 9.8, 2003. But the CGC notes does say it's the Gotham Central #1 sneak preview. I don't think that really adds much to the value at this point. I watched episode 1 and 2 of the show. It was okay. I'm hearing some mixed reviews about it, but I'll probably watch the whole thing once it comes out on DVD or something. This one I bought just because the cover is so awesome. I mean, it's Hawkman, Dr. Midnight, Atom Smasher, All-Star Squadron #1. It looks like they're picking a new team. Really cool cover. It's a PGX 9.6. It says on the notes it's a Roy Thomas story, and it's the origin of the All-Star Squadron. Some X-Men slabs I picked up a while back. Big X-Men fan. This is 105, rated pretty bad, 5.0. I don't think there's any significant in this book, but it's another Phoenix story. Good stuff. X-Men 100. Pretty key book. Awesome cover, old X-Men on one side, new X-Men on the other side. This is a PGX 8.0, and this is actually, as you can see, signed by Mr. Chris Claremont. This one is not certified, but I mean his signature is pretty common, so there's no reason why I think it's fake, and it does match most of what I've seen online and on other books. This book in the 8.0 condition is worth about $90. Here, another one of my favorite covers. This book is X-Men 150. How awesome is that? Cyclops, Magneto, one good versus evil. This is a 8.0 by PGX. Says in the notes, origin of Magneto. But this book is not worth too much, even in higher grades. It's probably in the $30, $40 range, slabbed. That's it for this round of slab books. I definitely have another box that I'll get to in a different video. Thanks for watching again. Take care.